Okay, so now trigger context variables we've discussed about is executing returns true if the current context for the Apex code is a trigger, not a visual force page, a web service, or an execute anonymous API call. So this is a whole bunch of other, this is more advanced. We'll talk about this probably in developer intermediate or advanced. We will play just the basic ones. If it's an insert, if it's an update, or is it a delete? Is it before? Is it after? Is it undelete? And then there is mapping. The new and then new map, old map. I'm not gonna just it's pretty abstract. We will see this in action when we are playing with our code, okay? And then there's operation type and the size of the trigger. How many records is getting manipulated? Is it just 50? Or is it 50 million records getting triggered? You know? Alright, so that's basically it. That's pretty straightforward, right? So let me repeat myself. Trigger, the name of the trigger on what object? So for Carol Ruiz, this would be on contact. You got that? So on contact, when do you want to execute the trigger? Before insert, after insert, or after delete, or whatever you want to define it here. So you define that, and then you can start writing your code, however you want to do it. So you need to do a lot of practice. Just play around with the trigger. Okay, so let's go move and start the first example. So what is this Apex trigger going to do? Trigger, example trigger on the contact object, execute after insert of the record or after delete. If it says after insert and after delete, so if I save this is an update, right? Will my trigger execute? No, it will not execute because it says execute this only after insert and after delete. So if I delete Carol Ruiz, it will execute whatever we say here. You know, email me if Carol Ruiz is deleted or any contact is deleted, or email me whenever a new contact is created, right? So let's go ahead and do that. I'm gonna copy this, go to my playground, this one, and go to my developer console. So, oops, sorry about that. Basically, I want to create a new Apex trigger. This is from the previous video. I'm going to close again. File, new Apex trigger. The object would be you can type there, contact. And the name, let me flip this over. Oops. Oh, I got two developer console. Let me close this one. And the name would be example trigger on contact. Okay, flip that. So it would be example trigger on contact. So it will have a shell trigger example trigger on contact before insert, but we are going to overwrite with our code. So trigger example trigger on contact, do the trigger if it's an insert, after insert, and after delete. So what we want to do is we actually want to just send an email here. We have a problem. Houston, we have a problem. Email manager.sendMail cannot be referenced from a static context. What's going on? Email manager.sendMail. Well, I want to put my email here. student@zone.io. Maybe I don't have an email manager. Do I have that? Maybe not. An email manager class. Oh, the email manager class is included in the class example of the get started with Apex unit. You must have saved the email manager class in your org and change the send mail method to static. Oh, before saving, okay. Basically, I didn't read this. That's why we are in trouble. So file, open, class. There. Public, static, void. It has to be static. Whoopsie. So basically, you need to do this. Open your email manager from the previous unit on the Trailhead Developer Beginner. You've created this, right? And then save. So it's a static method. Now it's a static method, right? Come on, star. You have to wait until the star is gone there. That means it's already saved. Come on, come on. It takes a few seconds. So now we can save this. All right. So now whenever we save or we insert a new record, I will have an email to my student@zone.io with this Trailhead trigger tutorial. Trailhead trigger tutorial. All right. So let's do that. Let's try it. So I'm going to flip back to my Trailhead over here. And I want to create a new record. All right. I want to create a new record. Now if I go here and I go cancel and I go to my contacts here and I hit new and I'm just going to name this James Bond. James Bond. All right. And the email is bond.zone.io and I hit save. So whenever I hit save, right, an after insert trigger will execute. Okay, so I'm gonna hit save. So after this James Bond is inserted, afterwards send an email to student.io, student@zone.io. Okay, so if I go back to my catch-all email and I hit refresh, there you go. Trailhead trigger tutorial from me. Woohoo! There. Oops, be careful. Oh, it looks safe, dude. So one contacts were inserted. Alright? One contacts were inserted. So we got that going on. So if it's a delete, well, you can basically do the same thing. I'm just gonna copy this and play around. Process this after a delete, right? I'm gonna paste that and then contacts deleted were deleted, right? And then you can even go do more advanced and list all the contacts that were deleted if you want to, but we are not going to waste time to do that. What, record count doesn't exist? Oh, yeah, of course, we can just put this outside, right? Boom. Alright, now you're happy. Now let's try to delete a record. Let's try to delete James Bond. We don't need you anymore, Agent Bond. You are terminated. Bye-bye. Delete. Boom. Agent Bond. What? James Bond? What do we... I have permission to delete James Bond, I think. Why? Can I delete Carol Ruiz? Okay, maybe it's a permission thing. Maybe I don't have permission, but I'm a system administrator, am I? So we're not gonna dig into that too deep. But basically, that's how you actually going to do that, all right? So whenever a record is deleted, it won't allow me to delete it because I don't have a permission or something. And then it's gonna send out an email basically doing the same thing. Okay, so now let's go back here. What else can we do? So yeah, we just did that. We just got an email. So adding related records here. Add the following trigger using developer console. Follow the steps from that, and then you just on account add related record. Okay, let's just copy this thing. I'm going to copy it, and it's called add related record on account. Okay, so I'm going to close this one, file, new, Apex trigger, and it's called add related record. It's on account, and submit. And I'm just gonna paste, boom, paste it, save. Right, now let's talk about it. So this trigger of on an account will execute after an account is created or inserted, and after an account is updated, right? So we have a list of opportunity. Get the related opportunities for the accounts in this trigger. So you map. This is a bit advanced here. Suddenly they use map, right? We don't even have talked about map yet. Okay, they map the account and ID, and then a new map, ID, and account, right? And then you put this into here. You select the ID and then ID from the opportunities, all from the related accounts. What ID is in the trigger new. So basically grab or get all the opportunities that belong to the account. Let me just give you an example. If I go to opportunities here, opportunities, where are you? Here. What did I do? Opportunities here. All of it, list all of it. So let's see. Here, Edge Communications have lots of opportunities, not lots, 4 of opportunities. So if I click Edge Communications, I have 4 opportunities, right? So basically, if I update Edge Communications, these 4 opportunities will be grabbed here, mapped, right? Accounts with ops, okay? And then what you're going to do with that? What you're going to do? For account trigger new, system.debug, blah, 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 it's just showing stuff. So if it doesn't have any opportunity, you create an opportunity, right? So if account with ops get account.id.opportunity size equals 0, meaning the account doesn't have an opportunity. Let me just delete that. If the account doesn't have an opportunity, then create a new one, right? If the account doesn't have an opportunity, create a new one. Insert opportunity list, okay? Alright, so that's basically what it's doing. So let's just save this and see how that works. So if I go back to Edge Communications here, and edit something, nothing will happen. Why? Because it's already having 4 opportunities. So nothing, not a thing, will happen. You want to prove? Let me change something. Let me just, whatever, change something. +9. Save. And then we see the related opportunities. Still 4. It's not doing anything, okay? So let's find an account with no opportunities. Probably a fake new account that I just make. Dick Smith! Haha! Dick Smith doesn't have one, right? 0, 0. So if I edit Dick Smith with anything, it gets updated, right? So your after update trigger will execute here, right? So it will create a new opportunity, and it's just gonna prospecting. Okay, so let's do that. Dick Smith, I'm gonna save Dick Smith here. Boom, let's see, it's gonna create a new opportunity. Boom, Dick Smith opportunity prospecting. Our trigger is working as expected. So that's a pretty cool example, right? So you create an opportunity. If you edit or insert a new account and there is no opportunity yet, then create one. All right, create one. So if you edit Dick Smith again, will it create more? No, because now the size is already 1. We have one opportunity. Got that? All right, I think you got that. So beyond the basics, oh, we can also add error. So we can also nicely add this. Let's copy this thing. Okay, trigger account deletion before delete. So instead of doing that, I'm just gonna copy this because we already have an account trigger, right? Well, we don't even have. Let me talk about that later. So for account trigger new, well, let's do this. Yeah, let's just because I don't want to confuse you. I'm just gonna copy the whole thing here, and then I'm gonna boom, trigger account deletion on account before delete. Cannot delete an account with related opportunity. So basically, you select if there is an opportunity on the account. Select ID from account. Okay, just the ID of the account. Where ID in, select account ID from opportunity and ID in trigger.old, the old data that is getting deleted. So if there is one, you say cannot delete account with related opportunity. So with this trigger saved, I will not be able to delete the Dick Smith record because we have one opportunity here. Now, if I want to delete Dick Smith here, we can't. It's going to say, boom, cannot delete account with related opportunities. So you're not allowed to delete it, right? So that's basically what it's doing. It's for validation, but the pretty advanced validation, all right? So, what else? That's pretty much it. We get the addError and then callouts. Okay, callouts meaning it's actually calling out something outside of Salesforce. Okay, whenever a record is deleted, updated, whatever, you can also call out or execute a callout class that will actually do something outside of Salesforce. Make a post on Facebook, make a post on Instagram, update your Twitter account, or whatever you want to do on the API level. All right, so that's pretty much it. Now we are going to wrap this up, and I will see you on the hands-on challenge on the Apex trigger on the next video. Boom, I'll see you on the next video. Hit that subscribe button and explore new Trailhead grounds and learn to implement the most useful and popular apps on the Salesforce App Exchange. And do yourself a favor, like this video, and you'll be surprised on how much more you understand when watching this same video after liking it. Don't take my word. Watch this one more time after you like the video and see it for yourself. Bada bing, bada boom.